Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Coast to Coast Hoops. Another great Saturday. Start off your college basketball weekend, Super Bowl weekend. But we got some plays for your college basketball Saturday. Another huge slate. Some great games today in the big conferences in Big 12, Big East, ACC. We got it covered here at Coast to Coast Hoops. Today's show, of course, is brought to you by PickCity.com. Head over to PickCity.com to find your next best bet. Every league, every game, they have you covered at PickCity.com. I'm your host, Adam Danis from GoGame Sports and PickCity.com. Welcome my co-host, Skojo. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's up, man? Super Bowl weekend. The WN Open is going on out here. The weather's beautiful. So, as I tell you, I keep playing golf, and you keep telling me to go fuck myself. So, anyway, yeah, let's go. Let's hit it.
All right, first to start the show, obviously, if you guys have been following on our Twitter page, we have started giving out free plays Monday through Friday. A new system that's been killing it lately. So let's get into this real quick. Coast to Coast, our free play winners went 13-6 this week, hitting around 69%, and we gained around almost 7 units if you place the bet to win a unit in every bet that you place with us. So a great week. We'll continue doing that throughout the season into March Madness, of course. And yeah, it's pretty hot right now. I got Skoj on it one day. The only day that didn't pan out pretty well for us. I'm glad that he stayed away that day, but it's going good, man. I love the new system we got going. I look at it every day while I'm traveling for work, and it's getting to be pretty exciting every day. I look at that stuff. So first game we'll hop into. We both love this game. Arkansas travels to Alabama today. Alabama giving Arkansas, who had one of their best games and probably the biggest win of the season, maybe the biggest win in their program against Auburn last game. They're getting 5 today, traveling to Alabama.
Yeah, woo pig suey, right? I got this at plus 5.5, and Alabama, it's been a weird team all year. It seems like they get up for big games, and they just kind of coast through other games. And I think that they're going to treat this game as a big game, but Arkansas right now is just on a roll. And I was on them when they beat Auburn there, so that was good for me. But I really like Musselman as a coach. This Arkansas team is shooting the rock really well. Alabama is just they've been so up and down. Not a lot of consistency with them. They're a good team. They can win this game absolutely. But I'm going to go ahead and ride the streak and ride Arkansas here. And I'm going to play the 5.5, and I'm also going to jump the money line here. I think Arkansas wins this game straight up.
Yeah, I actually like Arkansas on the money line as well. Great value there. Obviously, a huge confidence booster. Beating we both agree probably the best team in the country right now in Auburn.
ASU's the best team in the country, but Auburn's right there.
What year are we in? Anyway, Alabama, one of the teams that are just we can't really get a gauge on right now. They play good teams really, really tough. They show out for the big games. Do they overlook Arkansas today traveling to their gym? I think they do a little bit. So I think the 5 points here is very generous. I see this as like 2.5, 2-point game. Maybe even a pick 'em at some points, in my opinion. Arkansas, we knew they're one of those teams like early in the year that they started off slow, but they have a good coach and Musselman, and they had that team ready to play come tournament time, kind of like Oregon in some parts of their game. So I think Arkansas with the points here is definitely probably the only play I see in this game. I don't like Alabama giving any points in any really situations. I think they play better as a dog in these kinds of matchups. So I love Arkansas with the points as well. Moving on, Chattanooga taking on Furman today. Chats traveled to Furman, getting 4.5 on the road today. Over under sitting at 139.5.
Yeah, this is another game I'm going to dabble on the money line here. Chattanooga 21-5 on the year. Furman is a fast-paced team. They like tempo. They're not great defensively, and I think what's going to happen in this game is I think Chattanooga is going to try to slow this game down. They're going to try to play the game at their pace, and they're really good at imposing their pace on other teams. So I think that's what's going to happen here. I think Chattanooga will control the pace of this game. They will frustrate Furman. And I've watched Furman play a couple times this year. When they get in games like this where a team tries to slow them down a little bit and are successful at it, they get frustrated. They start Furman is very talented offensively. Furman can put up a ton of points. I just think Chattanooga is going to take the air out of the ball. They're going to slow this game down enough to stay within the 4.5. I actually think Chattanooga could win this game, or I think they win this game straight out. But I'll go ahead and take the points here. I will dabble on the money line, but I like Chattanooga to impose their will and their pace on Furman there, frustrate Furman, and get this win.
Yeah, and we've seen Furman be one of those teams where, they come out scorching hot. They put up 20 points in 5 minutes, and we're like, wow, this team is special on the offensive end. They go in the half hot, and then they come out the second half, and they're just a pile of dog shit. Not even the same team. No, there's no fire. There's no momentum anymore. It's gone. I see this game being pretty close, maybe even Furman getting out to a lead in the first half. But I see the Chattanooga as probably the stronger team and the more mentally tough team, probably coming out with a win here. I see 4.5 being a good number for an upset, kind of like the Arkansas number as well. So I see the total going over as well. I see both teams getting close to 70 here. Just so I think it's going to be a nip and tuck, back and forth game, and maybe free throws at the end of the game could be a big factor in this one as well. So yeah, I love the points here, and probably the upset too. Next game, Texas travels to Baylor today. Big 12, two monster teams. Texas looking to make the end of the season count with their shady first half and trying to get to the conference tournament in a little bit of a hot streak. Baylor comes in with a big win against Kansas State last game without one of the best players in LJ Cryer. I'm gonna take this game thinking he's playing today after missing 4 straight games. Obviously, one of the best scorers in the Big 12, one of the best shooters in the country. They are undefeated when they have their 9 best guys on the court. I don't see that changing today. I like Baylor -6 today against Texas. Another stat for you: Texas is 0-3 when underdogs on the road against the spread. I see Baylor taking it to them. Probably a 10+ point victory. 10+ point victory here today. I just don't think Texas has the mojo, the offensive ability to keep up with this Baylor team if they're fully healthy.
No, I'm with you there. I actually stayed away from this game just because I didn't know the status of Cryer, so I'm not going to play this game. But I do think Baylor is the more well-rounded team, the better team. Texas has started to look good, though. Their guards have started to play really well. Timmy Allen's kind of settled in, and he's playing well. They're big man. Texas is a solid team, and I was really high on them going into this year, and they just kind of got off to a really so-so start. Nothing very impressive, but I think at Baylor, if Baylor is fully healthy, I would probably take Baylor in this game. Like I said, I don't have anything going here, but I really do like Baylor, especially and Baylor to me looks like they're almost bored. Like they just want the tournament to start. I've watched them play a couple games. I know they've been missing Cryer, but they kind of look like they're just going through the motions. So maybe this game, Texas coming in there will wake them up, and they'll take it to them.
And again, in-state rivalry. Those fans are on both sides are probably rowdy as hell. Saturday afternoon, noon o'clock start in Texas. So I think this is gonna be a great crowd environment. I'm probably gonna sit down and actually watch this game from start to finish, just because I'm a basketball fan. And these are supposed to be 2 of the top programs in the Big 12, and look for both these teams to make some type of run in March Madness. But I think Baylor, the coach advantage. I think he's been there, done that in his gym with one of the best teams in the country, and I'm expecting him to be fully healthy. I just love Baylor today.
Yeah, it looks like Beard. It looks like Beard is starting to get his, kind of his message
guys,
across the Texas. It looks like they're starting to. It's looking more like a Beard team. So, but yeah, it should be a good game. Yeah, I agree. I'll probably end up watching this game too today.
Yeah. Another bet I like in this game is Baylor first half. I know last year I killed them. I really hammered Baylor in the first half in March Madness because the spreads are just so low at 2.5. I believe today it's 2.5. I like that as well. I see a 5-point margin in the first half for this team. So if you want to dabble on the first half as well, but we'll move on. Arizona, 14.5-point favorites today, taking on Washington, and Washington over under sitting at a hefty 152.
Yeah, I'm all over Washington here today, and I actually think this is an upset alert for Arizona. Washington got off to just a wretched start, but they're, the beginning of the year, they had injuries, they had COVID, they had all kinds of stoppages, they had no flow, no practice. And since they got everybody back, and actually when they got everybody back, it was against Arizona, and they were in that game. They played really well in that game, and then they kind of just wore out with about 5 minutes to go, and Arizona pulled away. But I like Washington in this spot. They're playing really well. They're 8-4 in the Pac-12. The Pac-12 isn't great, but Washington is playing really good basketball right now. They match up pretty well with U of A, and I think that they play that zone. Tompkins is a Boeheim or whatever freaking name. Yeah, Boeheim disciple. So they're going to play that 3-2. And one of the weaknesses with this U of A team is their 3-point shooting. So and Kriisa, he's streaky. He can get super hot, but he can also get super cold, as he did at UCLA. I think that's what we're going to run into here. So I really like the 14.5 Washington. This is one of my favorite plays today. And I do think that U of A is on upset alert. I'm going to dabble on the money line here. I think it's sitting at like plus 860, plus 900, nice. A half unit, a quarter unit on that money line. So I really like Washington in this spot.
Yeah, I mean, again, you walk into a tough place to play. Washington, Pac-12 rival coming into their house on that Saturday afternoon with their crowd. 14.5 just seems a lot of points coming down the stretch in conference play for me. I'm not touching this game just so I can't find money in my pocket to bet on Washington today, but I don't blame you for taking the 14.5 points.
No, I could totally have egg on my face. U of A is one of the best top 4 teams, and they're a championship contender. Absolutely. I just think it's the second game of the road trip. They've been rolling. I think they might fall asleep here. That's what I'm playing. I think they're going to fall asleep. They're going to overlook this. Like I said, and I watched Washington play these guys, and they stayed right with them. They were within 8-10-6, 8-10-6 the whole game. So.
Yep.
And then they just kind of ran out of gas late. So I really like Washington in this spot. I think they're going to stay there. I think this game's going to be close. And I think Washington's got a chance to pull the upset here.
Awesome. Well, good stuff. Florida State travels to UNC today. UNC giving Florida State 9.5 in a tough road matchup for Florida State today. UNC comes in 11-0 this year as a home favorite. I don't see that changing much today. They've also covered the number in 5 of the last 6 home games UNC has. Florida State, what in the hell? What happened to this team, man? We were talking after that Duke when we were talking about how this team's going to make a run for the tournament, how they're one of the best home teams in the league and in the nation. They've lost 5 straight now, including losses to Clemson, Pittsburgh, Georgia Tech. So it hasn't been great basketball played by these guys lately. I see this as possibly a blowout situation for UNC. I think UNC runs them off the court today. I don't think Florida State has the athletes to keep up with this UNC team who just likes to get out and run every single chance they get. And then the size too. Who's guarding Baycock in the middle? I see him having a good game today. I see him getting this 20 and 10. And stuff in the hoop there and towards the end of the game. And I see just a controlled environment for the UNC at home versus a team who doesn't play well on the road today. I think 8.5 is pretty generous.
Yeah, not a lot from me on this game. I didn't really look at it today, so I'm going to go ahead and trust your analysis on this game. Florida State's just a team I stay away from completely. So I wouldn't bet on this game anyway, but yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if North Carolina blows them out here. But I didn't look at the game, didn't look at the numbers or anything. So I don't have a lot on this game.
Okay. Next game, Georgia State travels to Appalachian State today, over under sitting at 131.5. I'll let Scooge take it away.
Yeah, no, I love this spot for App State. I actually think the wrong team's favored here. App State has been a covering machine. I got my notes. I'm trying to find them here. I should have had them up and ready to go. Here, I think on my phone. Here they are. Let's see. And I'm blind. Yeah, I think what's happened is Georgia State, they're 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games. They started to play well, but they usually struggle on the road. And this App State team has just been strong all year long. And they love games like this. They love close games. They're coached really well. They're tough-minded, and I think they're the better team. So playing at home, catching points, this is going to be a money line play for me. I think you can find it at 1.5, but I'm just going to play straight up money line here. I think App State gets the win straight out.
Yeah, not much for me here. I'm not really into any of these teams today. I trust your knowledge in App State. Again, haven't really watched or and bet on or against either of these teams today. So I'm again trusting your judgment here in this one.
Georgia State's 4-1. What I was gonna say is they're 4-1 in their last 5, but they're 4-11 in their last 15. So they were,
wow.
So they just kind of started to play well here. Yep. But they're running into App State, and I think this is just going to be an App State victory, pretty easy here. So
awesome. Next game for me. Indiana travels to Michigan State. I think we both like this one today. Michigan State hitting that, mid-season scuffle. They lost 3 of their last 5. They lost to Rutgers by 21. I'm going to give them a little bit of leeway because it was in Rutgers. Rutgers is just a different team. That environment is pretty brutal. And then they lost in a good matchup against Wisconsin. Wisconsin, one of the best home teams in the country, especially in the Big Ten. So just 2 back-to-back tough games for them. I bet they would like to come out on top one of those games. But today is the spot where I think they take it over and kill that 2-game losing streak today. They're favored by 4 against a Indiana team who, again, plays great at home, struggles a little bit in the road environment. I think they struggle in this Michigan State road environment today. Indiana is 0-3 against the number in road underdog spot this year, and missing those spreads by an average of 3.5. So I see a Michigan State 10-point victory here today. I think they come out on quick. They come out fiery with the home crowd behind them in a must-win game in their conference play today to kill this 2-game skid.
Yeah, no, Indiana, exactly. Indiana they're just night and day. They love their home floor. They love that crowd. They play, really well at home, but on the road, they're just, they're a disaster. I mean, they went to Northwestern, got beat there. Yeah. They just, I don't know what it is. I don't understand teams like this. I'll never understand teams like this, but this is one of those teams. Florida State was one of those teams, they played really good at home but yeah, I can't back Indiana on the road. I think they've got talent. I think they're a pretty good team, but I think Michigan State is actually going to dominate this game. I think this game, I first looked at this game, I think this game gets away from Indiana, and it gets away early. So I agree with what you're saying. I think Michigan State jumps out early and then just pushes that lead. So I could actually see this getting really ugly for some reason. I don't know why, but Michigan State isn't that great offensively, but they do play good defense, and Indiana, add that with Indiana struggles on the road. I think Michigan State gets the win here, covers the 4 easily.
Yeah. And I think it's kind of like 2 teams who are just in the same situation. Indiana has lost 3 of the last 5. Lost to Michigan, lost, like we said, Northwestern last game, and just a bad game for them. Only put up 51 points in that game. And that was in Northwestern. So I see kind of the same situation here where, not really a great rhythm to get into in this road matchup today. I think Michigan State smothers them on defense, and then Michigan State just the better team taking advantage of either Indiana's mistakes or, great defense turning into great offense today. So I love Michigan State here as well. Next game, Citadel takes on VMI. VMI scoring machines, Coach.
Yeah.
Scoring machines.
Yeah, Citadel just put up 107 against Samford. So this is just going to be the last time these teams played. I think VMI got the victory 90-85. I think you're going to see a similar game here. I actually think, I don't know what the team total is for VMI, but I think they get over 100 on their home floor against Citadel, because Citadel is just wretched on defense. So this is just going to be a fun. If you love offense, you're going to love this game. There's going to be a lot of shots. I mean, they may not make anything. This game could be 55-50, but I don't think so. Neither team, like I said, not very good on the defensive side, and they both love pace, and they both take the very first shot that they can get. So I think you're going to see a lot of firepower here. I think VMI probably covers this game also. Like I said, I think they're going to get north of 100 here. So I see like a 102 78, 102, 82, somewhere around there. So I think this game flies over this total. I know it's high at 162.5, but I think this game gets over that easy.
Yeah, I bet on some BMI totals so far this year. I mean, I love it. They're just they're relentless, and that's the best word I can use. They don't get in too many scoring droughts.
And they don't pull their guys, and they keep
Yeah.
playing. Like,
Yeah.
I've watched them play 2 or 3 games, and I mean, they'll be up by 15, 17 points, and they just keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't dribble the ball out. They just keep playing. So,
And I think with
yeah.
the home crowd today, they'll be even more intrigued to do that. In a place like VMI, who doesn't really have much to root for. It's not really a big basketball community in Virginia. So I think VMI with the home crowd juiced up, again, Saturdays are huge for college teams. And I don't know I know you have, because, ASU, but I don't know if people who listen have been to a college game on a Saturday. It's the environment.
Oh, I know. ASU, the best team in the country. It's crazy there on Saturdays. So
The environment's just shut up. The environment's just different
yeah.
on a Saturday and like a Tuesday game for VMI. So I see the environment getting to them. I see them juiced up. I see, like you said, over 100. I see that coming. Not gonna say easy because it's 100 points, but I see that's most likely gonna happen today. So yeah, I love the total in this one. Looking at this game more and more for me, this might be like my second favorite game or bet of the night. Butler is just one of those teams that have been up my ass like all season. They beat Creighton, and almost beat St. John's last week. And they're just one of those like nagging teams who just never like get away from you. They're always in these games. But today, like Marquette coming off the huge loss against my UConn Huskies in a game where everyone probably expected them to either like really come down to the last second or eventually beat UConn, but obviously they lost by 8 in a game where UConn had control mostly all the whole game there with their size. I think Marquette matches up pretty well against Butler today. Butler plays, guard play, not too many big men. And I think Marquette pretty much, I'm not going to say rolls because it's a 3.5 point spread for a reason, but I see an easy win here for Marquette. Butler is 1-5 as a home dog against the number this year, missing the spread by almost 5 points. Margin of loss sitting at just about 10 in these matchups. I see maybe the easiest win of the season for Marquette today in a bounce back situation. I love this Marquette team on the road today.
Yeah, no, I second everything that you just said. And Marquette, one of those teams that I thought was a good story early. And I thought once the conference play started, that they would just kind of fade away. And they have not. They have played great. They're definitely a tournament team. Shaka's got these guys, playing great basketball. So I agree with everything that you just said. It was a tough loss against UConn. And I think they're going to bounce back here and bounce back in a big way. I've got this at -3. I know it's up to 3.5. The number's probably going to even get probably to 4, maybe 4.5 before tip. But yeah, I love Marquette in this spot. I think it's a huge bounce back for them, and I think that they roll today. I'm looking for a double-digit victory against Butler.
Awesome. Yeah, I hate this Butler team so goddamn much. Hope they blow them up by 20. I'm just sick of this team, man. I can't stand them.
Yeah, no rant today. I know I ranted 2 weeks ago. The one thing about this ASU team is they play their asses off on defense. They do. I mean, they bust their ass on defense. Their effort is still there. They just can't shoot the basketball. I mean, bottom line is they just can't score. They cannot score the basketball. And the last time they played Washington State, this was a 52-29 final. Yes, 52-29 was the total. It's not going to be another one of those games. But Washington State's another good defensive team. They're not a high-paced team. So I think there's going to be, limited possessions here. And, like I said, ASU fights on the defensive side. I got to give them credit for fighting on the defensive side. They got a big win against UCLA in a triple overtime game, which was great. But, then they played U of A, and I almost wanted to run down on the floor and kiss every player on because they get off to a 14-1 start. I just start looking for live bets on U of A. I'm like, these guys are going to U of A still going to cover the spread. They actually didn't. I think they landed right on it, which was 12.
Yeah.
But they just had no legs after that UCLA game, but it was a big win for them. I was glad to see them get that moment. But then they went up to Washington, and it's just the same thing. They did give up 84 against Washington. But again, this Washington State team isn't as electric as Washington. I think Washington's better than people are giving them credit for. That's why I like them today against U of A. But I think this is just going to be a low-scoring game. I think Washington State's going to get the win. I don't know if they get the cover. I think Arizona State probably can stay within that 11.5. But I think this game's going to be like 65-58 or 63-55, somewhere around there. But I think it's I don't think the game's going to be close, so I'm not even really worried about fouls and free throws and stuff like that late. I mean, possible, but I think they're going to be well under the number. So I like the under in this game a lot.
He's ASU, man. I'm just here to listen.
They can't shoot.
Yeah,
they can't shoot.
Yeah,
Me and you could go out there and have a better percentage shooting 3-point shots than these guys. I mean, they're just terrible.
And I was up late for the last game. Don't know why I ended up putting that game on, but holy crap, dude! It's just like, God bless you for like having that thing behind you, and that that thing on your shirt there today, because man,
no, they're brutal. They are bad.
They are like okay, so UConn is like I always say, they're a hard-nosed, like tough team, coached by one of the toughest coaches probably in the country, in Hurley, because he's on their ass all the time, right? But sometimes, man, they're just ugly. They're hard to watch. And I watched the ASU game, and I said, "Thank you, UConn."
Yeah,
thank you.
No, but like I said, the only thing I give them credit for is their effort is still there. I mean, they're still playing hard on defense. They're still, they're just not that good. I mean, they're just not good, which is, shocking going into the year. We thought one of our strengths was going to be 3-point shooting. But again, Marcus Bagley, I don't know. Nobody even says it's something with his knee. He hasn't had surgery. Who knows what is wrong with him? He's just not going to play, I guess, all year long. And if ASU was playing better, maybe he jumps out there and starts playing. But it's just 2 years of Bagley. Guy, all the promise in the world. I think he's played like 7 games for us. So it's just another throwaway year. But like I said, they're playing hard. I know I ripped them a couple weeks ago. I was ripping more up Bobby because I'm tired of Bobby just bitching all the time. Bitch at your team, quit bitching at the officials. So anyway, yeah, the under. Love the under in this game.
Awesome. Let's see here. Next game. We both are pretty well acknowledged on UCLA today, and I think I can't say much, man, because it's one of my favorite games today, and it's going to probably be in my VIP card. But UCLA, -2 against a team which I think we both agree are not frauds, but maybe overlooked a little bit, in a USC team. I just think that the scoring of UCLA is going to take over today against USC, who struggles a little bit on the offensive end sometimes during the year. I think the only way USC wins this game is that if they keep UCLA under 65 points today, and I don't see that happening. So,
that total that I was looking at that. I think, USC is, they're long. They've got unbelievable length, and Mobley is pretty good. Peterson's okay. They've got a guard. I forget his name, but their guard's pretty good. But UCLA just 1 through 5. I mean, they didn't play horrible against ASU. ASU just had a game. They just ran up against ASU, who had just had their game of the year. So I think they're going to bounce back here. They've had enough time to get over that loss, so they should be fresh. They haven't had to play it all this week. They don't have to travel very far. They're going right across town to play USC. They're the better team. And I think, this game will probably be close. It'll be electric to start, but I think UCLA, I think it's going to be a slow paced game. I think it's going to be a low scoring game, but I think UCLA gets the win. I would even lean on the under a little bit in this game too, but I stay off the total here because I do think it'll be close for a while. But we get to that 5-minute mark, and I think UCLA will show that they're the better team, and I think they win this game and cover the 2.
I mean, I can see, you want to talk about totals for a minute. I can see like a 72-60 win for UCLA, but that's under the total. I just think UCLA is just after that loss, who they lose to again, Coach?
Who?
UCLA, the bad loss.
I don't know. Some team in Tempe. It was a triple overtime game.
Yeah. Anyways, so I mean,
it was a bad loss. That's a horrible loss. That is a horrible loss. I'm not even going to deny that. That's a horrible. Like I said, I was happy for ASU and they got a good moment, but yeah, that's a terrible loss.
Ever since I think that like changes their, I don't know, not changes the way they play, but I don't think they'll ever look down or like look down on a team again, especially in the Pac-12 after that. Like just like shot to the face. Like, you had 3 opportunities in overtime to beat this awful team, no offense, and you just couldn't take them down. So I think UCLA rolls pretty easily today.
Yeah, Juzang was horrible in that game.
Yeah,
Juzang was terrible, man. He was, especially in overtime. The 3 overtimes, he was just brutal. So, and ASU tried to give that. UCLA had a shot to tie it on a missed free throw. I'm like, there's no way that happens, right? It did, So, yeah, I mean, ASU did everything they could to try to give it away too, but UCLA was just, they were worse. So,
yep. All right. I've been hitting these 5-teamers. I'm going to give out one more today. Auburn, Kansas, Kentucky, Duke, and Zona all on the money line today. Just
looks like a Final Four.
Could be.
Yeah.
At minus 108 today, pretty much even money. I hit my last 3 in a row on the show, going for 4 in a row today. Auburn, 12-point spread today. I think they roll, in my opinion, against Texas A&M, traveling to Auburn. Auburn, I believe, has the guard coming back today. What's his name, Coach?
Yeah, I don't know.
His name. He's coming back, I think, today. Kansas against Oklahoma. Kansas doesn't lose at home. I'll take them every day in the money line at home. Kentucky is home against Florida today. I think they blow out Florida personally. Duke plays Boston College. Yeah. And Arizona plays Washington. I know you have a slight play in Washington today, but I think Arizona ends up with the victory. Maybe they cover, maybe they don't. But I think Arizona comes out on top today. So that's I think pretty easy 5-teamer. I also have a underdog parlay for you junkies out there. Arkansas, URI playing Davidson. I know they're playing Davidson, but URI is pretty dominant at home this year. And that line just screams URI for me personally today. Syracuse getting 8 on the road against Virginia Tech. Ohio State, Coach, don't say anything. I know you're on Michigan, right?
No, I'm not on Michigan. I'm not on that game at all. So
I know you're not on them. But before the show, you said you think Michigan rolls. So we're gonna stick with Ohio State today. Okay, I'm gonna stick with them. I hate Ohio State. I don't like them at all. I don't like Michigan either. But the line and the way Michigan had, just because they beat Purdue, everyone's like, "Oh, Michigan's back." I don't think so. OSU is a more talented team today on the road. Getting points, getting the plus money. I'll add that right into the parlay. And then Notre Dame, one of my favorite teams in the ACC this year, playing a Clemson team who just doesn't really show anything for me. Notre Dame fighting for the seeding in that conference. I think they pull out a gutty win today as well. So if you want to dabble on that, that's plus 11,726 odds. And good luck. Scooch, your parlay today. Arkansas, Chattanooga, and App State on the money line for plus 13-14.
Yeah, I like these. Teams are all small dogs, and I think they all have a really good chance at the outright. So the odds there, the value there, a half unit bet, quarter unit bet, 1 unit, 1 unit, whatever you want to do. I bet a unit on this, but I like Arkansas to win that game. I like Chat. These are all 2 games that we talked about today. So I like Arkansas, Chat app. They're all dogs. I like them all straight up winners today. So you can get that at plus 13-14 or somewhere around there, depending on what book you use.
Yep. Good shit. All right, boss. Any other games you want to touch on before we head out today? I know there's a huge slate.
Yeah, if you want to throw that 3-teamer that I just played, if you want to throw Cincinnati tomorrow, money line in there, play a little 4-teamer. I think.
All right, we're gonna end the show. We're gonna end the show on that. Because I am not for that talk. So, let's see. Anything else before we head off today? Oh, do you think Creighton or do you think Georgetown finds a way to win today?
I don't know. I think Georgetown always finds a way to lose. But Creighton's been, I don't know. Creighton's kind of a Jekyll and Hyde team. They show up sometimes, but they lost to ASU at home, so they can lose. Georgetown can beat them. So I looked at that game. Nothing.
Another upset that I'm not gonna say I think is gonna happen, but has potential. Do you think Villanova, kind of lets the guard down a little bit today against the Seton Hall team?
They could. I don't think Gillespie's right either. I know he's he's battling through some stuff there, but Nova. I mean, could they? Yeah, I wouldn't bet on it, but could they cover? They could cover. I don't know that they beat Nova. Nova's just they're one of those teams, right? I mean, Jay Wright. I look at those coaches, Jay Wright. I look at Altman out at Oregon. Yep. Nova's just a tough-minded team. They're a tough out. I wouldn't bet against them. But Seton Hall's they're an okay team. But yeah, you look for spots. That's why I like Washington today. It's because of it's just a spot. U of A's been rolling. They got a big win against UCLA. They got a big win against their rival. They get a win at Washington State. So they're just kind of rolling right now. I think they're kids. They might and like I said, with that zone, I think they're just going to give them a little bit of problems. They can match up pretty good with Arizona inside with their bigs, but do they get the outright? I don't think so, but I definitely think they stay within the 14.5. So
awesome.
But that was to answer your Villanova question. Like I really don't have an opinion. I think Nova's just one of those teams. I think they're solid.
Of course, yeah. If you guys have any questions, any comments, questions, concerns, hit us up at Coast to Coast or at C2C_H00PS on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at GoGet'em_sports, Scoj at Sun_Devil_Scott. We are both on the Action Network, both of us meaning Coast to Coast Hoops and Scojo. Go to the follow button, click on Scojo. You'll find his Sun Devil action report on Action Network. That's all I got today, guys. We'll be back tomorrow.
Just for people that do watch this, I do run a bracket every year, so I'm getting everything ready. I'm going to start emailing that out to everybody probably right at the beginning of March, so everybody's got. We had a good response last year to it. I'm not going to raise the price or anything. It would be $50 an entry. You can enter as many times as you want. It's just a really fun format. So look for that to be coming out somewhere. I've got an email list from last year, so I'll send that out to everybody that was in it last year. And if you have any questions on it, just shoot me a DM. All I need is your email, and I'll shoot out the format. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Good stuff. I'll probably be in that, so kick your ass. All right, guys. Look at that tomorrow's slate. Not a bad Sunday slate. So I'll be back tomorrow, Scoj. If you want to join, you are welcome to. I know you might be playing some golf, but don't want to interrupt your golf game. So
yeah, that's right.
I'll be back tomorrow for you guys. Again, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Have your notifications on. Action report. The sharp report goes out every afternoon. Like I said, 13-6 this week. Looking for a 20-0 week next week. It's unrealistic, but we're going to go for it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Best of luck. Please bet responsibly. Have a great Saturday.